Well, Rebecca, what a great setup this is. Q Sports Yorkshire. How long did it take you to get it looking this good?
Well, we started in 2017, September. We were in a small unit upstairs before, and then it just grew. We got more customers. I was able to put more money back into the shop, so I've just grown bigger and bigger, and this is what it looks like today.
And you've done so well to have survived COVID as well and continued to flourish and get more members and more people turning up here wanting coaching.
Yeah, so the coaching side, that was my income, and then the shop side, in terms of sales and things, that's what helps the shop grow and be able to offer loads of different cues to loads of different people. So yeah, it's going really well. And yeah, through lockdown, we was able to get grants and things to just keep afloat. So we was able to keep afloat, and we've come out the other end.
And how do you balance the time you spend in here coaching and working with all the merchandise and the time you spend in here practicing?
Well, before, when we first opened, I was able to coach during shop hours and try get practicing because we didn't have a lot of customers. And now the shop is just doing so well, I don't do any coaching during shop hours. I have to do it either before or after. And then in terms of me practicing, again, no time during shop hours at all. It has to be around coaching time and then the shop opening time. So pretty minimal, really.
And regarding the coaching, do you get a lot of enjoyment out of that when you can see a player beginning to improve under your instruction?
Yeah, definitely, because I've come from, playing at club level to improving up to a higher standard. So seeing where other people can go wrong, maybe having to tweak things, it's really good to then be able to tell them what they need to do to improve, and then seeing them improve, and then, going from break building from 10s and 20s up to 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah, it's really, really good.
So now we look ahead to your life on the tour. Big opportunity, big change. How are you going to juggle running this place and increasing your practice to give yourself a chance of winning matches on TV? Yeah,
so luckily the shop's been doing so well that I'm able to get an employee in to run the shop for me, because otherwise there would be no chance for me to do that. Like I just said, there's no chance of me trying to find practice time and run the shop and do coaching. So once I knew I had the tour card, I've stopped with booking any more people in coaching. I've just been finishing off with people, and then I've got an employee in to run the shop for me. So he's starting work soon, so he's running the shop, and then I can go out and practice.
So how many more hours a week do you think you'll be able to put in on the table now that you are in a position to focus exclusively on your own practice and your own schedule?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to do it more or less full time. So I'm planning to go to different academies. So I'm just over an hour away from like Sheffield and the Q House Academy. There's 2 in Sheffield, obviously. So I'm going to dot about and go to a few different ones if I can, to try get a good feel of all the different areas, get out of my comfort zone really, because it's okay just practicing in here before the shop's opening, but it is a bit too comfort zone. I want to be out there and being amongst the other pros. So yeah, that's my plan, is to go out there full time, basically like Monday to Friday.
And it's a tall order, isn't it, coming onto the tour? You're going to be coming up in the first round against the biggest names in the sport, but at the same time it's a challenge. It's a great chance.
Yeah, it's just a great opportunity for me to play against the better players and the pros. On the women's tour, obviously, I get to come up against like Rianne, Oni and Mink all the time near the semis and finals of events. But there's not many events on the tour, so it's very sparse in terms of the good competitive play. So playing against these pros, I'm going to learn loads. And now I anticipate I'm not probably going to win as many matches as I'd like, but it's all about learning for these first 2 years on the tour, so that's what I plan to do.
And have you set yourself any specific goals, either ones that you'll share with us or ones that you'll keep to yourself? Have you got any little markers that you want to hit as you go through this 2-year process?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is not to put any pressure on myself to do anything like win so many matches and win so many frames. The main thing is I've got to enjoy it and learn from it. So every game I play, my objective is to have learnt from that game and then put that into practice for the next game. So that is my only goal. So I think that's pretty easy to achieve, to be honest. So there's no pressure on me to do anything special. I'm just going to learn.
And what have you made of the experiences so far? You've played in a couple of shootouts. You pushed Brandon Sargent very, very close. I think you led a couple of times in that qualifier, a bit more one-sided against Gerard Green. But you've had a taste for it. What's your instinct about how things might go?
Yeah, I mean, against Brandon Sargent, I felt really settled. There wasn't hardly any, well, there was nobody in the arena watching or anything. Shootouts, you can't really compare that to anything normal, so couldn't take much from that, barring the small part of TV experience. But the game against Gerard Green, I actually had a lot more chances than I thought I would have got. And it was a lot of pressure. It was when I'd just been announced that I was getting the tour card, and I just felt the whole world was watching. So I learned a lot in that match that, all right, there is some pressure out there, which I thought I'd handled previously and all other things. But no, when it's a new experience, there's a new form of pressure. So I know I'm going to suffer some nerves, and only experience can get you through that. So I'm glad I've already learnt that one so far.
And what are you like in terms of your day-to-day character? Do you think once you get used to playing those big names, which you will do almost on a weekly basis throughout the couple of years, do you think once you get used to that, you'll become quite comfortable, or are you always a little bit nervy before a match starts?
No, once I've experienced something new, I'm very settled with it. So for my first game on the women's tour, I was terrible. The first tournament, I was just so nervous. And then the more you play, the more you get used to it. So yeah, I'll definitely get used to it, and my true game will come out in time. I just have to accept that any new experience is going to be a bit nervy and edgy, and I've just got to learn from it and then be settled the next time. So I think I'll do well later on once I'm fully settled with everything.
So now the reality of life as a pro is kicking in. How have you been able to kind of make this work potentially from a financial perspective?
Yeah, well, since I can't do coaching now, I've got to practice full-time myself. I've had to look out for some sponsors. So I've been trying really hard trying to pick up some sponsors for the season, and I've managed to pick up one so far, which is Ox Billiards. So they're a billiard hall in Seattle, America. So the women's tour is actually doing an event over there. So I managed to bag them as a sponsor. So yeah, I've got one sponsor down already.
And it's almost a great tribute to your dad, isn't it? Because I read that you first started playing with your dad. It's how you got into the sport, and it'd be amazing for him to, you know, if we can hypothesize for a moment. You imagine if he was watching down, thinking, "Wow, my daughter's on the main tour. This is incredible. It's been a great journey."
He'd find it hilarious. He'd say, "How are you on the tour? That's amazing," because we just used to play in the club. So there was a time where obviously he was better than me, and then I kind of outgrew him and I was getting better than him, and he'd say, "If I had your eyes, I'd beat you." So it was like I was younger than him, so it was only my eyes that were making me good. So yeah, it'd have been amazing for him to see it. So yeah, I hope I'm doing him proud.
I'm sure you are. What was his top break, by the way? We should do him that honour.
I never think he spoke about any high breaks. To me, he used to be pretty pleased with himself if he got like 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't think while he was still alive, I think my top break, it was like 67. I think I went from like 64, 65, 66, 67. So yeah, no tons I don't think he ever had. But he was a really good like match player.
And you've obviously learnt from the best. Yeah. And what's been the reaction in this area? Because obviously the shop's well established, you're well known on the women's tour. Have people noticed that you're part of the full tour now? Has it generated a few little ripples?
Yeah, definitely. Even people coming into the shop now, they like ask for my picture and things. And like one lady came in from Bradford, and her son was buying a cue, and she said, "Oh, can you sign this for me? And can I get a picture with you?" So yeah, I'm like a little mini celebrity around here now already.
And is there anyone that you're particularly keen to face, or you want to avoid, or are you're just open for anything and everyone?
I'm just happy to play any pro. Yeah, anyone will be amazing. Yeah, no one in particular. But yeah, I do plan on trying to travel around and trying to play some pros if anyone will have me on their table. So yeah, all experience will be good. No particular names. Maybe not like, you know, any of the top 16 in the first rounds would be good. So if it goes back to tiered structure, that would be good.
Well, the very best of luck for your 2 years. It's a really exciting development in your career. We can't wait to see how you go.
Thanks.